Hi, my name is Sinead Manus. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Fluency. Fluency is a learning platform that teaches young people in-demand digital skills and connects them with jobs. So my business idea came from seeing a gap in the market for businesses who really wanted to get involved with the web and social media, but just didn't have the time to do it themselves. So as a trainer and coach to these small businesses, I decided to train up some people to fill this market gap and started the Digital Academy, which then morphed into Fluency a couple of years ago. So I turned the idea for Fluency into a reality by meeting my co-founder Ian Anderson on workinstartups.com, which was an amazing start to the business. And we were very lucky to apply to a Tech for Good incubator called Bethel Green Ventures in July 2013. We were successful and we started building the company from there. So in terms of how we get young people onto the Fluency platform, we use a couple of different methods. So we work with a lot of different partners all over the UK, so youth charities or job centres who will refer people to what we do. But we also are big fans, obviously we teach things like social media, and we're a big fan of using social media and blogging to really get the word out there. And the last method we use is a bit like today is I love to go out and give talks, especially to groups of young people, and get them really inspired about the potential of the digital space. I really think that there's a digital job for everybody, and part of my role as CEO of Fluency is to show them that no matter what they're interested in, whether it's fashion or beauty or dogs, there's probably a startup for them, and to really get involved in the digital space and see it as a great career opportunity. So the three key drivers that got the business going was getting onto the Bethel Green Ventures Tech Incubator was an amazing start to the company. The second one was getting our first client, which was the Prince's Trust. And the third one was raising our seed round with a group of impact investors from Clearly Social Angels has really made a huge difference to the company. I think the thing that made us realize that Fluency really had legs was the more that we go out and talk to potential customers or partner, the more feedback that we get that there's a real market need here, both on the side of the businesses who really need digital help and find it hard to recruit, but also on the side of working with the young people who are desperate to get a foot in the door of the digital industry and just haven't got the contacts or the skills to get there. So the three biggest challenges we've had in the last 15 months of building Fluency are, well, firstly, about getting our minimal viable product out there and really talking to customers. So I don't think this is something that we did very well in the early days, but it's something we're really trying to address. So literally building the smallest thing possible that you can build and just get it out there and talk to customers as much as possible. So as Eric Ries says in the Lean Startup, don't sit in building code, get out of the building and talk to customers. That's number one. So number two is around cash. So as a business, we've run out of money twice, which is a very painful process to go through. So my lesson with that is cash is king, is to try and keep money in the bank as long as possible to eke it out until you really find that product market fit, and then you can throw money at it. And I guess my last lesson is around staff. So again, I think in the industry, we have this big startup law that we have to find these unicorns and spend money hiring amazing people, when actually I found the opposite, that it's good to keep your money as tight as possible and maybe hire younger people with potential who can really grow with your business and be really loyal to your business, rather than keep running out of money every 3 months and go back to your investors. That's my lessons. So the three things I know now that I wish I'd known when I was starting out are, first of all, the investors, especially here in London, are only interested in two things: traction and revenue. So don't go too early to investors because they're just not interested in looking at you. Really try and make an effort to get a user base and get a little bit of money in the door before we start approaching investors. That's number one. The second one is that don't be fooled by startup culture. So when I started Fluency, I was very influenced by reading the tech press, and it always seems that everybody's got an overnight success in the startup world. But actually, if you drill down into how these companies got formed and all of the years of work they put in before their big launch, you actually see it's a bit like a duck. There's a lot of frantic activity going on beneath the surface. So just stay on course and believe in what you're doing. And it may take a couple of years. It's not going to happen overnight. And the last thing that I've learned that I probably didn't know 15 months ago is that it's so much fun. Like, I literally get out of bed every morning with a smile on my face. I've worked for myself for 8 years now, but I've never had so much fun as running a startup. So I would implore any of you out there to just, if you've got an idea and you've got the expertise and you see a problem in the world you want to fix, do it. Get out there and do it now. So my advice starting out, looking at starting a tech startup is really quite simple. The first bit is about keeping everything lean and keeping yourself as cheap as possible. So we live in a city that's incredibly expensive. So if you're just coming out of uni and you're already used to that poor lifestyle, try and keep that as long as possible. Once you start getting a job, you get that monthly salary in the bank, it's really, really difficult to get it up. Believe me, I know, I've been there. So try and live as cheaply as possible and build your idea on the side. Even if you've got to take a part-time job and just build your idea, work weekends, work nights, and just if you believe in it, you'll be able to get it out there.